Well, thank you. ISIL remains a threat to the people of Syria, to Iraq, to the Middle East, but also a very direct threat to the United Kingdom. We will continue to build the case for military action in northeast Syria, where ISIL is headquartered, where its command and control is, and from where its supply routes are being used to fuel its campaign in Iraq. And the Russian intervention doesn't change that. We will continue to build the case for support for military action in the new parliament. No, that's...
Any more information on what you know about the presence of Iranian troops in Syria and whether you've seen that growing and at what pace recently?
Well, first, with respect, I've seen those reports also. I can't confirm them. Obviously, we know that Iran supports Assad, and that is one of the range of Iranian malign influences throughout the region that the United States is committed to countering. That's why we stand with our friends and allies throughout the Middle East, as we have emphasized in connection with other activities of Iran around the region. But I can't give you any further information on that particular report.
Thank you. Well, NATO is certainly determined to prevent the Russian intervention from diverting any focus on our effort against the coalition effort against ISIL, or to destabilize the eastern Mediterranean. And an incursion into Turkish airspace, of course, is an incursion across a NATO border, and that only has reinforced the determination of NATO members to protect each other and to look to their collective security. And our contribution to that, I announced yesterday, we are joining the American-German TACIT initiative, and we are stepping up and continuing the support we are giving to the Ukrainian armed forces as well. Fine, I'll accept.
With respect to the issue of training forces in Syria that will take the fight to ISIL on Syrian territory, that is an important ingredient of our overall counter-ISIL strategy, and the United States remains committed to that. We have been looking for now several weeks at ways to improve that program. I wasn't satisfied with the early efforts in that regard, and so we're looking at different ways to achieve basically the same kind of strategic objective, which is the right one, which is to enable capable, motivated forces on the ground to retake territory from ISIL and reclaim Syrian territory from extremism. So we have devised a number of different approaches to that going forward, and taken them to President Obama, and I think you'll be hearing very shortly from him in that regard about the effort, the proposals that he has approved and that we're going to go forward with. Since the Russians began their activities there, is that their actions are going to have the effect of inflaming the very extremism that even Russia claims to want to combat. So by taking the side of Assad, they bring upon, they inflame the civil war, therefore extremism, prolong the suffering of the Syrian people. They're going to have the effect also of turning everyone against Russia itself. So this will boomerang in a very direct way on Russian security, and therefore I don't think it is in their security interest to take this step. But it absolutely has the effect of inflaming ISIL and inflaming extremism, and that's the reason why I have consistently said that their strategy is illogical and self-defeating.
Right, you had a third question on Afghanistan, I think. The answer to that is no. We are part of the Resolute Support mission, which is not halfway through its time span, and we've no plans to change our commitment. Obviously, we will look and see see the review that the commanders of that mission will be making at the end of the first fighting season to see how the Afghan forces have got on and the extent to which they've been able to cope with some of the ebb and flow and fighting that has been.